Hi, good night, and greetings on this special day, International Women's Day. The theme is Be Bold for Change. I hope you had a great and productive day and that you're all set to be bold for change. For tonight's chat, I decided to focus on three of the critical areas that I believe that if you move forward in these areas, if you be bold for change in these areas, then we would be making great progress outside there. The areas that I chose are changes within the home, within the workplace, and in the community. So let's begin by starting with the home. Before I do this, I want to ensure, and I'm just moving forward to see that, let me know if you all are hearing me. Let me know if you need me to speak up a little more or shift the camera a bit so we can have a great, session. So, let's start. Again, greetings for those who just joined me. I am really happy that you're able to join me, and I'll rebroadcast this session at the end. So as mentioned, be bold for change. And for women, I know it is very difficult. It's not very easy for us to just change. But that team, that commitment, we want to make that commitment to really go out there and be bold. So let's look at what's happening in our homes. I would just say two of the critical areas that most women, struggle with. And that's the financial aspect and the aspect of abuse. So let's look at the financial aspect. What changes can you make in your financial situation at this time or in moving forward? Many women are the main breadwinners within their homes. They are doing it alone. They are single parents. Now, even those of us who may not be single parents still have that, struggle financially to make ends meet. So what can we do? And let me focus on the single parents, the women who are out there supporting their families all alone. They may not be able to do, or you may not be able to do anything about your income in terms of if you are in a job, in a position, and that's your salary, it's not being increased. So what you have to look at is what measures you can put in place to reduce your expenses and to make life a little easier. Now, of course, it all depends on the size of your family. So my suggestion is that you look at ways in which you can bring in extra income and reduce expenses, even within a very small salary or a tight budget. We go back to the old school days where, and you may have already been doing it, but you just be more conscious now of how you do it to avoid wastage. So for instance, look at your buying habits. Look at how you're making your groceries. You may be doing it weekly because of how your money coming in, and that's all right. But be careful that buying in bulk helps in terms of reducing cost. But if you have a large family, and you may have very small ones, it could encourage wastage. In that, they may be seeing plenty and tend to use up a lot. So know your situation when you are buying. It's not everything you should buy in bulk because you feel it's cheaper. It can run you into trouble later on because of the excess usage and wasting. So look at that. What you can also do, be careful with when things are on sale. You know, you may go in the grocery, the supermarket, or even the market, and you may say, yes, you know, price has been reduced because there's a lot on the market, there's a lot on the market with that particular product or produce, and you buy in bulk. Be careful when you do that because you have to look at storage. How do you store it? Some things are easily you can have it, you know, you can freeze it and it can work well for you. Some other things you may not be able to do that. So look at that. Look at also at expiration dates because it's cheaper. Most products they go on sale and prices are reduced because it's close to expiration dates. But if you're not going to use it within a certain time period, even after that date, if you stay too long to use it, you may find that you have to dump it. So yes, make your groceries, you have to, but look at these tips which can help you reduce in cost and prevent wastage. Now, I always believe we all have some sort of talents or skills that you can utilize to help reduce cost or to help bring in extra income. And you should bring in members of your family also to help with that. So for instance, I grew up with my mom. My dad was the only one working, and my mom used her skills. She was very good at baking. So she made like the sweet bread and what we call it, you know, the coconut drops and tamarind balls and all those extra, well, candies they call now, but we call it in those days they were just sweets. So we had the sugar cake, the tamarind ball, etc. And as children, there were 7 of us, and we had to sell. We helped her sell those things. We sold during the break time at school, what we used to call recess. We sold after school, and we sold on weekends. So we helped in terms of bringing in that income and give her that support. That extra money that she got, or that money that was her income, we knew that that was going to help buy our uniforms, to help us with whatever things we needed, the smaller items that she was able to help with. We didn't feel ashamed at all. What we knew is that we were helping. Which brings me to other area that, you know, some parents, or I would say the single mothers, you know, tend not to do. Don't feel ashamed. Don't think that you are putting pressure on your children, you know, and taking them away from their homework. No. You don't do that. You get them, you sit with them, explain the situation, and let them know how they can contribute to bringing in that extra income. They themselves may have skills and talents, although they may be still small. Some of you may have the older ones in the home that have skills and talents that they can utilize also to help bring that extra income. What it calls for is a meeting, a discussion of the situation. Because as women, we feel we can do it alone. We can't. We could, but it puts stress on us. So don't be afraid to ask for help. Don't be ashamed. If you have a skill to use, don't feel that, oh, you are not going out there and beg anybody to buy what you have to sell. Please remove that thinking. You know, we were very successful in our home with that sort of system where mom made the sweet bread, etc., and we went out and sell. And we did that right through. So that's one area in terms of financial. Don't despair. You have to strategize. You have to sit and plan. You know, don't think it's not a great planning. It's just say, okay, what can we do to bring in the extra income? I know there's problem with time, and you have to be careful how you manage your time. And that's why you need the support of those at home. Because if it doesn't entail going out to sell something, it will take you time to prepare or to make or to do whatever it is. That extra time, your family or your support system at home can help you by relieving you of the chores that you may have to, what you will regularly do. They can take that over and give you that time. Okay? So that's one area you can look at in terms of financial. I also recommend, especially if money is a really an issue, and there are certain items that's critical. Maybe you need to change your fridge or your stove, which is critical to you living a quality life. There's always that, you know, joining a susu, you know, stretch yourself, and when you get that lump sum, you then purchase that item. You know, you always have the credit union or the other financial institution you can look at. But, you know, going down to the grassroots, the susu always helps. So basically, that's just a quick tip in terms of your financial struggles. How do you step boldly to make a change within your financial situation? You do things that you haven't been doing before, that you may have been scared to do. You also, you know, get support. Look at your maybe your neighbors, your family, your friends, who you can get together with in terms of reducing costs, and when you're buying some certain things, then is when you could look to buy in bulk, and you'll, you know, distribute according to how much you put out towards that item. So yes, you can go out there, get support from others, and that's how you can, you know, help with your financial situation. When you look at, and because of time, I'm just, you know, touching a bit on these things. We can also develop it later on. So again, what changes in the home? You can look at that, and what's happening with abuse. That is a serious situation right now. I mean, that like is becoming an epidemic, you know, and it is a serious emotional issue. It calls for professional help. And in many cases, because, you know, the victims are ashamed, are scared, quite rightly so, you know, what can you do? Seek help. Always seek help. You know, find someone you can trust to let them know what is happening, to help relieve that burden from you, to hold your hand and pray. If you're a spiritual person, pray with you and give you that strength to, you know, get out of this situation the best way you can. You know, when we bind together, that's how we can be bold, you know. Fear keeps us trapped. Fear really, really holds us back from moving forward, from being bold. And you know, if you know that, you know, someone have your back, guess what? You would definitely be brave. Then you go forward because you know, hi, I have support. I'm not alone. So seek that support from a friend, from a family, from an elder. That would help give you that strength, make you bold enough to change your situation. Other area, let me just stop and thank those who have joined me. I've noticed, Roxanne, thanks so much for joining at this hour, and others who are on board, I thank you so much, because I thought this hour might be easy. You get home and, you know, you had your dinner, etc., and you can now sit back and chat. And I ask you please also to send in your comments. So yes, so we are talking about abuse. Now, it's frightening, because I think last week I read, I think it's six young girls have been missing for the year. Man, I may be a little wrong with the statistics, but even if it's 2, that's too many. And I wonder, where's that support from the village? You know, used to say we look out for each other. And I read, you know, when I read from the comments or the report from the police, they are actually asking, asking the public, please, have you seen this person, etc. That says there's a lack of caring, there's a lack somewhere, something is happening that is so scary that maybe we are not looking out for each other. So violence, abuse, look out for each other. Even if your friend may not be talking about it for a reason, as I said, of shame or fear, and you have observed certain things, don't just say that is not my business. It's not that you're going directly and getting involved, but you can think of a way that you can give support or get that person. I say we are dealing with women here, so get her out of that situation. Just don't turn your back on the situation. We have to come together. I mean, in growing up, I know we looked after each other. If I did something wrong or one of my siblings, by the time you get home, your mother knew about it. Because your neighbors, persons within the area will talk about it. And it didn't have any cell phones then. Somehow they got a message to her before you got home. That made a difference. If not, they would tell you direct. Some may not even reach your mom. What they would do is tell you there and then how they feel, warn you, scold you. And you had to listen because you had to respect. So we have to teach our children how to respect adults, And don't look at that your neighbor may be minding your business if they let you know what they observed about what is happening within your house when you are not here, when you go to work, what the younger ones are doing or the other older ones are doing. You need to listen, you need to get involved because that will make a difference. For all these young girls to be disappearing and there isn't sufficient information around or being given to the authorities as to where they may have been seen or who they may have been hanging with, what they have been involved with. Nobody is speaking about that. That says something. So let's be more aware and support each other. I want to touch quickly too on the workplace. How can we be bold for change in the workplace? Now in the workplace as women, we definitely have the issue of sexual harassment. We have the issue of gender, in that you may find no equality or very little, because you would see your male counterpart with less experience or less qualifications being promoted ahead of you. And we have these things going on that has been talked about, discussed. We have to look now. What can we do? If we haven't been doing anything before, hey, we have to step out. How can we change this attitude with the sexual harassments from our male counterparts? And how can we prevent the victimization or reduce the amount of victimization against women in the workplace? Again, you can't do it alone. Don't just watch the situation and say nothing. Don't be happy that your female colleague is being victimized because you don't like her or you are jealous. No, we have to remove that. Many times, our females in the workplace, the women in the workplace, can be helped by their female colleagues, but they are not. And why is that? We need to get rid of this nonsense about not liking and who feel they're nice or who feel they're bright or who, if they get promotion, will pressure us, etc. No. If we give support to each other, if we are called to support, we are there, we at a situation where we actually witness, our colleagues being sexually harassed. When time comes and they need information from us, this is when we should step forward and be bold and said, yes, we actually saw that being happen. Why not? If we don't, then nothing will take place. But you would want it done for you if you are the victim. So think about it. Why can we support each other? Give that support in the workplace to your woman, the other woman in the workplace, regardless of their position. It's not that that person lower than us, so we're not supporting them, or higher than us, so let them fend for themselves. When we send that strong message to our male colleagues, that we respect each other, that we have each other's back, then hopefully, and I know it would happen, they will back off because they would realize that, hey, if I do X, I have 2 or 3 other women coming to give support, to give evidence saying, yes, this is happening. The area of equality where the women are being overlooked, I would suggest getting out there, strategizing a little more. I came from an industry that was totally male dominated, and I attained a level of management. I was the only, at that time actually, the only 2 senior female managers, and I was one. And you know why? I strategize. At meetings, I learned when to speak up, when not to speak up. I listened carefully, took notes, and went home and strategized. What do I have to do to make it? Not being loud, not doing the things they expect me to do, so it's very easy. So if you lose your cool because of the nonsense sometimes you have to listen to, they will say, well, as a woman, you're getting nervous, you can't, take any advice, etc. So you sit back, you listen, and you strategize. You speak with other women of like minds who within that company who could share and give you information on what you can do. If we encourage and support our women within the workplace to move up, that would be a bold step, and not sit back and feel that, okay, we are not in that position, we don't have the opportunity, so therefore they cannot have the opportunity. Please, no. To be bold, it means you stepping forward without that anger, without that hate for each other. Or sometimes we hate our own selves because we cannot see ourselves in that situation. Therefore, we don't want anybody else in it. So be careful. In the workplace, out the workplace, the only way as women that we can cross those barriers is getting together, stop hating on each other, loving each other, and complimenting each other. Okay? So let me go to the last area. And that is being bold in the community. And I'm so happy that Roxanne is on, because I admire Roxanne and her group and what they are doing for the community. We cannot step back and say we are not doing. Each one of us have to contribute within the community. Because when we complain about the crime, the violence, or the unfairness that is happening in our community, and we don't do anything about it, hey, we're not contributing to change. To contribute to change, you have to believe in the cause. You have to believe that you can make a difference. You can make a difference by stepping out there and offering. It could be of your time, it don't have to be your money. It could be your skills, your talents. What can you do in your community that can make it better, make it a better place, a better community to live in? Make it the environment alone should be a very powerful one to encourage young people to grow, to educate them, to want them to say, yes, I want to be a good person. I want to make change. I want to contribute to that change. And that's why we make the community different. The community made up of all of us. Not just those who's suffering, and yes, they have to go out there and fight it. And those who have sitting back and say they don't need to contribute because they have reached. No, that is not stepping out. That is not being bold for change. So I close here by saying, to me, being bold for change is just making sure you must have confidence in yourself. To be bold, you have to be confident. To be confident, you have to love yourself. You have to be able to plan. Because if you want to achieve, you have to know what you want to achieve and how you're going about doing that. You have to love each other. Without that love and that caring, then nobody would want to deal with you. You will be exiled. You may feel that, okay, you have reached, but no. You have to bring up others with you. So don't despair. We can do it. As women, we are strong. We were brought up strong. We have seen how our mothers worked hard, how our grandmothers, right down the line, worked hard to get us where we are. I am so proud of my women folk. We have so many women out here in Trinidad. I want to deal with Trinidad right now and Tobago. Very strong, doing fantastic work. They are the ones have been out there being very bold. And it's because of them we have reached so far in life. So I urge you to commit. Commit to the team that be bold for change. Get together. Love your sisters. Support your sisters. Compliment your sisters. Watch out for your sisters. And that together we would boldly make that positive change. So I thank you. I look forward for your comments. Send in your comments. We would, of course, I would make sure I mention it. Whatever input you have, I will share it with others. So as I said, together we would be able to make it. So I look forward next week, Wednesday at the same time. Let me know too as the time is convenient to you. I've restarted. You realize I had my live broadcast. We stopped in December. I've just restarted. And on the next Wednesday, the topic would be how we can de-stress. So have a great, great night and be bold for change. Thank you again for listening. Bye.